how has content played a part in those different realms for you?
Yeah, content is it's kind of crazy, man, because like you're right, it does seem very oversaturated. It definitely feels like we're in kind of an almost an overshare season of
Hmm.
just so much being thrown at us every day. But as an artist, I'll tell you from the business side of things, like I've worked on a few different commercial campaigns and marketing campaigns, and sometimes those producers are like, hey, like what's your reach look like, what's your following look like, like they sometimes they inquire, and then
Hmm.
sometimes that doesn't matter at all, and they just want to know, do you have the chops to be able to promote our product, and do are you likable, and like all those different things, right? And so I've just made it a point to where in my career I don't want there to be any excuse as to why I'm really not able to flourish. Try and do my part to, get my numbers, get my reach up, but then at the same time, make sure I'm adding value in the space. And I think that that's one of the things that I felt like was challenging and a little bit of a struggle for me because, you know, I like the internet, but I also don't feel like my life all the time is worth being posted and shared every little bit. So I think with content creation and partnering with different brands and things like that, it's given me a reason to share light, and
Hmm.
share, oh, like this part of my life, or just share like, the ins and outs without being too evasive and still keeping some sense of privacy, which is something like I feel like we all should value as human beings.
Hmm. Yeah, because a question I've always wondered is when you're trying to, start your influencer content creation journey, a part of you thinks, you got to be consistent, you got to be constantly producing content, but at the same time, you also don't want to overshare. And what would you say is the right balance of knowing, what you should share about your personal journey, but still not sharing your whole life to the world and still able to keep the key parts to yourself, right? Like what's that balance like?
You know, I don't know. Like, so I used to work in IT.
Hmm.
I had a stint where I worked in IT for a little bit, and a lot of times people don't realize that the internet is forever. So it's always good if you have some sort of doubt, bro, to just really run it past a friend.
Hmm.
Run it past a friend before you share. I think
Yeah.
now I'm a little bit more cognizant, of just kind of like, okay, I really only use my social platforms to promote whatever it is that I'm doing.
Hmm.
Because, it could be a part of your business strategy. If you don't have, an immediate publicist or something like that, then people are depending on your social platforms to serve as a source of truth. So if there's always like all this stuff on there that really isn't about your personal brand, or if it's not any partnerships that you're working with or things like that, then you're kind of disrupting that source. And so I've kind of looked at it that way. But I love creating content and I love the entertainment piece of it.
Hmm.
And, I am still kind of, I mean, like, thankfully, my outlets when it comes to red carpets and live events and all of that, that keeps me kind of always, if you look at my page, I'm like always releasing some sort of footage regarding that. But I would love to evolve and get more like brand deals and things like that, and so like that takes time. But the cool part about it is like working with the NFL and working with Apple and like all these other different brands, like it's affording me the opportunity to have content to post, to share, and to loop the brand in on and to spark those partnerships.